Welcome back, fantasy players. My name is Rhett Manuel. You can find me on Twitter at rmanuelsports. And welcome to the Fantasy and Frames 2023 Redraft Target Profile Series, where we'll be taking a look at players in the NFL you should go out and try to acquire for your leagues this year in order to help you win a championship. However, before we get to it, just a reminder to head over to our YouTube channel, subscribe for more informative and actionable fantasy football content, and follow us all over social media. You can also see all of our work from our hardworking analysts from Fantasy and Frames over at fantasyandframes.com. So let's get into a guy I'm very bullish on this season, New York Giants tight end Darren Waller. Now, Waller is 31 years old entering this 2023 season, and on the field remains an athletic mismatch. But he has struggled with injuries these past few years and hasn't played in 13 or more games since 2020. And for his career, he really only has 2 full years of production in 2019 and 2020. But he has proven that when he's healthy, he has the ability to be quite the difference maker. So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's start with talking about 2019, his breakout season, where he had 117 targets, 90 receptions for 1,146 yards, which was the tight end 5 per playerprofiler.com. He followed that up with an even bigger 2020 with 145 targets, 107 receptions, and 1,196 yards. That was good enough for him to be tight end 2. Now, his health began to fail him in 2021, yet he still finished as the tight end 6th in fantasy points per game that season, averaging 12.1 points per game and finishing the season with 55 receptions for 665 yards. And last season, his last with Las Vegas, he only played 9 games. But in those 9 games, again, per player profiler, he had huge opportunity in those games. He was number 5 in air yard share with a 19.4% share. He had the number 1 average depth of target at 13.6 yards. He had 13 deep targets at the position, which was first, and he only had 43 targets. So that lets you know what he was doing and how he was being used. He averaged 13.9 yards per reception, which once again was first at the position. All these should be get together, and that tells you that he is still very capable of getting upfield and doing damage. Now, he did get traded this offseason. He did get traded to the New York Giants. So there are some obvious questions about what his role is going to be within that offense. But personally, I believe that the Giants don't trade for a guy like him to be a secondary part of their offense. So that means, in my opinion, the path is there for him to be a top 2 target within this offense, probably the number 1 target. And at this position, tight end, that is exactly what you want and exactly the type of guy you should be trying to acquire. Currently, I have him as tight end 4 in the 2023 rankings at the time of this recording. However, I see a path for him to finish as the tight end 2. And with some sort of major injury, there's even extreme tight end 1 upside. Now, I'm going to say that isn't likely, but he is currently being drafted at the tight end 6 position in standard scoring, tight end 7 in half and full PPR scoring per fantasypros.com. As for what Fantasy Pros expects him to do this season, currently they have him projected for 62.4 receptions, 748.4 yards, and 4.4 touchdowns. But with the role I think the Giants acquired him for, I feel like that's low, and you see more like 70 catches, 850 yards, 6 touchdowns at minimum. So that is especially true, being that there are no real wide receiver threats within that room. And at his current ADP of the 7th round, I think there's major value to be had in drafting Darren Waller this year. So in conclusion, I believe that Darren Waller is being grossly undervalued because of injury history this season. Is there risk there? Yes, absolutely. But at a position where it's hard to find true upside like you do at tight end, anytime you have a chance to hit a home run instead of a double like you do this year with Waller, you should take that swing, especially at his current 7th round ADP. So guys, that does it for this redraft target profile. A reminder to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as follow the rest of our content on social media and at fantasyandframes.com. I'm Rhett Manuel. I can be found on Twitter at rmanuelsports. You all be blessed and have a wonderful day.